All right, take 4. All right. Next, we have the process scores problem. In this problem, we will receive files that look like this. And so, first line, we have the name of the person, and then followed by the series of pluses and minuses, which will act as their answers. And so, our objective is going to be printing lines like this to the console, where we have the person's name, followed by the percentage of their answers that were pluses. So first stage of development, we're going to have the method declaration where because we're just printing outputs to the console, so using system.out.println, we're not going to have any returns, so that's why it's a void here. And then we're also taking in a scanner object, which I've named file, and so this scanner object is going to be reading through the file given by the main. So second step, I'm going to declare and initialize a string variable to hold the output we construct before we print it to the console. So that's signified by string output equals empty string. And so we're going to be updating this throughout the code, and that at the end printing it out to the console. And so looking back at the example output, the first section is going to be the name of the person. And so in the input file, the name of the person precedes the series of pluses and minuses. It's also the first value in the file. So consequently, we're going to be using file.nextLine to grab this name and then adding a semicolon to it, and then finally adding it to output. And so this is going to add the person's name and a semicolon to our final output. And so, first issue we encounter, how do we take the series of pluses and minuses and produce a percentage? So to overcome this, I used a double variable to count the pluses, so that's num of plus. And then I used a for loop based on how long the string of answers were. And so I grabbed the string by using this file.nextLine here. And then I measured its length here, and I iterated through every character of this string of answers and compared the character to a plus sign. And so if that character at that certain index is a plus, I'm going to be adding num of plus up 1. And so that's going to count how many pluses are in the total string of answers. All right. So exiting the for loop, we can convert the count to a percentage by dividing num of plus by the length of the series, so the string, and then multiplying it by 100. And so keep in mind that the value produced will be a double, since num of plus is a double, and so all the math processes following num of plus will be doubles. And so after adding the remaining components of the output line, we print it to into the console using system.out.println. All right. Next is our second issue. So I have to loop this process multiple times since there are multiple people with scores within the file. So to do this, I used a while loop that continues to run as long as there is a line remaining in the file. And so file.has next line will have output a return a boolean, true if there's more people to process, and so this will continue until all the people are processed and then eventually exit. So at the end, it should look something like this.